WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. And Joe, I think everyone has seen people do this, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Probably the greatest campaign I think I've ever seen for a charity. Every time you go on social media, you turn on TV, someone is doing this challenge. Of course, you have to remember to donate. That's a big part of it, too, and they've received a ton of donations. Joe, you decided to do it, and you even gave yourself a little bit of a tweak, you said, because it took you a little time to get to it.
Yeah, well, better late than never. But I thought it was appropriate to name the 4 people that have went into Monument Park this year alongside Lou Gehrig, and that's Tino, Paul O'Neill, Goose Gossage, and Joe Torre. So how fitting. And Pat Quinn, who's from Yonkers, and Anthony Sonertia, who's from Pelham, were really the 2 that started this Ice Bucket Challenge. And it has really taken off. And we've invited them to a game. Their families, as this year comes to an end, we'd love to be able to personally thank them for what they've done and how much they've meant to this Ice Bucket Challenge. The Yankees are going to give $100,000 to the ALS Foundation, which I think is obviously very gracious. And what a clever idea. And we personally want to thank these 2.
And we've already laid out the schedule for September, so if Pat and Anthony are listening, you got to get out to a game. Joe Girardi and the Yankees are inviting you. You have to come out to a game.
I'd like to invite 4 people, not 3, 4 people who joined Lou Gehrig in Monument Park this year. Joe Torre, Goose Gossage, Paul O'Neill, and Tino Martinez to accept the Ice Bucket Challenge. Here I go. Woo!
Now, I watched Jason Zillo. He was the person who dumped the ice water over your head. How cold was it?
You know, I think the anticipation of it is worse than the actual dumping it over your head because it goes by quickly. I kind of relate it to when you're going to go into the pool and the water's a little bit cold and you stick your toe in, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can get in. The best way is just to jump right in, and it happens really quickly.
Joe, you also talked about the personal side of ALS for you and how your Uncle Ralph had passed away from ALS. I need an Uncle Ralph story. I need something that he did, some impact he left on you.
Well, every Sunday we would go out to where my mother grew up. It was a farm out near Sterling, Illinois, and we'd stop by Uncle Joe and see Aunt Mary. My mom was the youngest of 15. And then we'd drive down the street. They were all farmers, and we'd go see Uncle Ralph and see all of his kids. He had a ton of kids, and we'd go to their house, and sometimes we'd go out in the fields or we'd go out in the tractors and play. And then we'd drive right to Uncle Johnny's house, and then we'd go see Aunt Liz in town and get a bunch of pies from Aunt Liz. So, as I said, my mom was the youngest of 15, and most of them lived in that area and were farmers, and it was always great to go see them.
Was Uncle Ralph a baseball fan?
Oh, they all are. They all were. They used to ride in the tractors and listen to the games on the radio. So, and when I played with the Cubs, they obviously would get WGN and could listen to those games.
And as we said, it's for a great cause. Donate to ALS. They've done a wonderful job with it.